And right now, since the election, we go by the election, don't forget, a lot of things happened when we won. From the day we won that beautiful November day, the most exciting night in the history of television, including UFC fights, The most exciting night, the biggest ratings in the history of television worldwide. They were watching, I have friends in Paris and London. What are you doing? I'm watching, 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 5 in the morning. They're watching, the whole world was watching. That was the most exciting television that anybody's ever seen. Even ESPN, some guy on ESPN said, this is the most exciting event I've ever seen. And all he does is watch sporting events and big ones. But since the election, 7 million brand new, beautiful jobs have been added. And we've invested more than $2 trillion into that military that we talked about. And we created something that's very exciting. And we have our great new general. I'll tell you, he was on a list of the most incredible men you've ever seen. The 6th branch of the United States Armed Forces, the Space Force. And I will be making a big decision for the Space Force as to where it's going to be located, and I know you want it. We'll be making that decision toward the end of the year. I was here. I was up at the Air Force Academy, and I greeted those kids. They were so great. I did the commencement address. Was anybody there? I did the commencement address. And the general said, sir, would you like to shake hands with the cadets? I said, does everyone else do it, President? Oh, yes, sir. What he didn't say is they'll shake 10 hands. I said, so they do. How many do you have? Sir, we have 1,156 cadets. I said, you mean other people do it? Yes, sir. But they don't do 1156. They'll do 30, 40. They'll take the top 10 out of the class. I said, I'll do it. I stood there for 2.5 hours and the sun was blazing. True. And I shook 1,156 hands. And a lot of these kids are very strong physically. In fact, you have one of them as an example. He was the winner of the home run derby. Did you know that? College, think of that. The college home run derby. I said, let me see you. I want to see what you look like. He stands up, uniform, everything else. And by the way, I did something for Air Force, but I did something for all of the academies. If you were a great athlete, and they had a hard time recruiting, although they've done well, if you're a great athlete, you can't, we wanted to sort of get them to go, but they didn't because they didn't want to serve 5 years in the military, and then they'd go into the NFL or baseball. So I had one of the teams, and they said, sir, give us the waiver, sir. They've been after the waiver. You know what the waiver is? That means that if you're a great athlete, you can go to the Air Force Academy or Army, Navy, the Coast Guard. You can go to one of our service academies. I did the rule, and we got it through Congress. And you don't have to serve. You go directly into the major leagues, into the NFL, and you serve your time after when you get out. Isn't that great? And the Army coach, who's a great guy, all great guys, Navy coach, the Army coach, said, sir, if you do that, we can compete with anybody, because we lost a lot of great athletes who said, we just can't do that. Now they serve their time afterwards. Isn't that great? And we did it. They've been trying to get that for so many years. But I love that group of people. I saw this guy from the home run derby, and I shook hands. Oh, I shook hands. And they come up, and they're strong people. And they're shaking, and they're a little excited. They're a little nervous maybe. They're meeting the president. They're a little nervous. and they're strong. They got big, strong hands, and they're saying, and I'm saying, hello, sir, thank you. Man, say, jeez, what do you do? I'm captain of my wrestling team, sir. I admire you greatly, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I'm trying to act like it doesn't hurt. By the end of the day, I'm going, but we did it. And then I said, wait a minute. I said, General, no other president could do that. The presidents don't do that. He said, no, they do, sir, but they stop usually at around 50. Oh, that's great. But I love the Air Force Academy, and you have all of the infrastructure. So you're being very strongly considered for the Space Command. So, very strong. And actually, I have to say this. I think I can say this, Mr. Senator, but the governor showed up at the plane today, your governor, Democrat. No, but in all fairness, he showed up because he wanted to lobby to see if they could get it. That's okay. That's all right. And we are going to be making that decision, Corey, when we make that decision, all right? Okay. But we've destroyed the ISIS territorial caliphate 100%. We killed